everyone. This is ACDC, Araceli and Collective Dynamic Change. And my name is Araceli, and I'm a transition wealth advisor and also a real estate investor. And I love helping professional women to rearrange their finances. And I'm here with my partner, Colette. Colette, can you introduce yourself? Tell us what you're here.
Hi, everybody. I just want to say we've been doing this show for over a year, and I was feeling the love today for you, Araceli. Thank you so much for being my partner in all of this.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been such a great year, even despite COVID. Actually, that's what I was thinking about. This has all become part of our COVID life because we wanted to do something for you guys out there to actually keep in touch with us, to learn, to ask questions. And before we get started on our show today, which is answering our clients' questions, I will introduce myself. My name is Colette. Raba is my last name. I am a real estate broker. I do offer buying, selling, and investing strategies for people who are looking for residential properties in the GTA West. So my specialty area is Mississauga, Burlington, Oakville, anything in between, even Brampton, a little bit of Milton. I'll go out as far as like Cambridge. But anyway, all this has to do, this show all has to do with us giving you information about buying, selling real estate, and also answering your questions and helping you with your finances, which you can't do one without the other.
Yeah, that's true.
And both of us love real estate. We love to talk about it. We love to give advice as much as we can about the market, about whatever questions you have. So please, after you watch the show, during the show, whatever you want, please give us your questions. We will be happy to answer them for you because you're probably not the only one asking. So don't ever be shy. Ask us all kinds of crazy, we see crazy stuff and we get crazy questions and we love them.
For sure. So, well, today is going to be the part one of some of the questions that we have from clients. And I have a question for you, Colette. Someone has a house.
Yes.
And they want to know, should I buy first or should I sell first before I move on?
Yes, that's always a very interesting question. And as you know, or you might not know, that the Bank of Canada has created a new a little bit harder stress test for people wanting to buy right now. So we are in early June. So, and this is the thing that I was trying to explain to one of my clients, actually, that they're going through this right now. So they have a property to sell, residential property to sell, and they also want to upgrade and buy something a little bit more. Because of the stress test, the first thing you have to do is talk to your mortgage professional or your lender or your financial advisor to say, what can I afford? How much more can I afford? So that's the first thing. The other thing too is you have two properties. And if you have a buy and a sell and you sell first, then you have to make sure you buy before you close. So you're not homeless. Yeah. It's not crazy if you have to move into a hotel or move in with family, but you're essentially moving twice. This is the reality with any time in the market. If it's a hot market, if it's a seller's market, buyer's market. The second thing is you have to consider what you qualify for. So if you decide to sell first and you get a ton of money, but then the market's changed, and now, so this is what's happened in the last few months. The market was crazy hot, multiple offers, overbidding. People were getting huge amounts of money for their properties, but then they had to go and buy something. So now I would actually recommend people sell first because we don't even know what kind of market or what kind of price you can get. Don't expect the prices that you'll get, comparable sale like it was in March, April. Prices were crazy, multiple offers. The stress test was still really good. People could qualify for higher amounts. And that's what the stress test means versus now where things have slowed down. It's also summer. Yeah. So it's not spring market. It's also, there's more on the market. So supply and demand, there's more supply, less demand. So now you're looking at your prices are going to go maybe not terribly a lot lower, but maybe 2 to 5% lower. So I would highly recommend right now, my answer, highly recommend you sell first and buy after, so you know exactly how much money you're going to get for your property, and you don't have to do a bridge finance. So unless you,
Interesting. Yeah.
right, so bridge finance is only if you buy and then you close before your selling date, which is okay still. If you want to move into your place first, your new place first, that's absolutely okay. Then again, you have to talk to your mortgage broker or your lender to say, how do I do this bridge financing? What does it mean? How much is it?
Yeah.
And how long do I need? So once you have 2 deals on paper, then you can go to your lender to say, listen, I need to bridge finance. How much is it? And if it's only a month or a couple weeks, it's really not a big deal. It can be done. So these are the questions that you have to ask your lender.
Yeah. Yeah. Also remember, we're doing this show today in the summer. So depending on when you are planning to move, also
Right.
the market might fluctuate, not only because the market has changed, but also the season. So you have to
Right.
be aware of that. Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Colette. And then the other question, you can answer a little bit about it, about the stress test that it was just put into June. How is that changing the market?
I
Like,
don't
is
want
it
to
really
answer.
cooling off,
I
or?
don't want to answer. I don't want to answer that. Well, really what the stress test is something that it's different for everybody, right? So depending on your income, depending on how much you owe on your property, and if you want to sell or you want to buy first, or if you're just buying, this is really for people who are buying. So if you think, okay, I have a good job, before June 1st, mortgage agent told me I can afford, I don't want to say a number, let's say X number of dollars. Now, when you go back to them to say, hey, listen, it depends, right? So this is the thing. I have a few clients that I've been working with for a few months. They haven't bought anything yet. So I want to make sure that they go back to their mortgage agent to say, or their lender to say, has anything changed? Do I still fall under the old rules, or do I have to put my name back in with the new stress test? And can I afford the same amount? Usually if that happens, there is a window that they only have, let's say a few months to go, under, once the mortgage broker says you qualify for this amount. Please talk to your mortgage agent or the lender again now to say, can you please just verify what I can purchase? Because the worst thing in the world is going and making a firm offer. And believe me, there's still multiple offers on properties. It's not that they don't exist. Instead of 20 or 30, now there's 7 or 10. Still happening though. It's still happening. So this is because the agents that are listing the properties have a marketing plan. They list really low and then they get multiple offers. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. This is a very standard marketing plan that lots of agents are doing, especially if they know what the market's like. I'm sorry, did I answer your question?
Sort of. Well, I would say that what I take out of it is keep reviewing your finances. Make sure that
Yes.
you talk to the mortgage broker. If you don't have an offer already, and if you have not got an approval,
Yes.
right? So to make sure that you're still within the price range that you originally decided to go for. So
Yes, thank
hopefully
you.
you're still going to be okay. So,
Thank you. Okay, now I have some questions for you.
ooh, questions for me.
Okay, so I know we talked about what would be better to, let's say I decide that I want to, try my hand at the stock market. I don't know why I said that with an accent. It's funny. The stock market.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to go it alone, or should I hire a financial advisor to do a portfolio? Like, what do you recommend? What do you think?
Okay, so I've had actually this question from a client because, you know, she called and asked, says, I like to buy stocks, right? And my question is always why, right? And I'm not saying it's bad or not. Now, in this time, we have available banks and other institutions, brokerage, that you can go there and buy the specific stock. Now,
Right.
the problem is that that is your personal choice, something that you like to do. You like to read the paper, be informed, and say, oh, well, I think that that company is going to do well. I like to purchase the stock because I know that it's low now and I know it's going to be going up, right?
Right.
Unfortunately, that is something of a personal choice that a financial advisor, it's not responsible, because if I tell you buy this kind of stock and the stock plummeted, then now you're gonna blame me, right?
Right.
The reason that you hire advisors is because we work with diversified portfolios, and we assess your risk, and then we tell you, you want to have a balanced portfolio, maybe a little bit of a growth and so on, and we can give you something that is diversified. When you buy a stock, is you only buy it in one thing. We could be industry, or we can be just a specific area. And if something goes wrong, you are basically at the mercy of what is happening in that industry, versus having a portfolio that is distributed among different industries, different stocks. So it's like a combination of stocks into your portfolio.
Right.
Instead of that, that is the difference. And the short answer is this is personal preference, and also depending on your finances. Because I always give the choice to my clients. If you do want to have some stocks, I will say no more than a certain amount of money. It's going to be there. And that is kind of, you play money. Yeah. Oh my God, I made 20%. That's
Right.
great.
Right.
Right. So that is kind of like the short answer. I hope
Yeah.
I answered it.
You can get me 20%. Yeah, I'm gonna I'll go with you.
Well, no, you see, this is the thing. When you go into the stock market, you're hoping that that is going to happen.
Right.
And
Right.
and actually, it has happened.
Sure.
Um, but the thing is, this is cyclical, just like anything else.
Like real
Just like
estate.
real estate, just like anything else, the market is always cyclical. And you can have a really, really good year to have, like, let's say 20% if you buy a stock, but then the following year it'll fall a minus 30, which is kind of wipes it out. But on the overall, it depends also your time horizon. There's many, many variables, but you need to have a little bit more understanding
Right.
of
And your
what
risk
it is.
tolerance. I think risk tolerance is huge. So if you
Yeah.
really think that buying stocks by yourself is safer than using a financial advisor, it's not, unless you have like some kind of inside information, and then that's like illegal anyway.
Yeah.
Be
That is very
careful.
difficult. It's very difficult to do. Even if you follow Warren Buffett, he says uh, don't do it if you don't understand it, right? So it's
Right,
better
exactly.
to just go with something, or somebody that can guide you with something that is diversified, because your your portfolio is not going to go like a yo-yo, right? Like up and
Right,
down like
right,
crazy, right? So it depends, but I would not recommend somebody to put everything in stocks to do it themselves. You
right.
can do a portion of it just to kind of see, test the markets and so on, because you like doing that. But I
Well,
think that the majority of it should be with an advisor to grow steadily at a
right,
certain
I
rate.
agree. And then to outweigh the cost of paying obviously you have to pay the financial advisor, but
Mhm.
you have to weigh out the cost of saying, they're looking at this. This is their job. So obviously, if you have a job, you're good at that one thing. Like this is your thing. So if somebody asks me to pick stocks for them, I'll say, I can't. Why
That's
would,
right.
or can you cut my hair? No, I'm not. I don't know how to do that. Can I fix your car? No. So this is the thing. This is why you hire the experts, because they'll guide you. They'll lead you to say, this is why you should do this or that.
Yeah,
Also at the same time, I'm keeping you safe. This is my job on
absolutely.
the line.
Yeah.
I want to keep you safe. So obviously, if it were something that I really want to hire a financial advisor, but this is the other thing too. So let's say I'm your client, and I'm thinking, okay, look, now I have this a little bit of extra money.
Mhm.
I don't know, should I hire a financial advisor? What advice would you give someone if they're on the fence about hiring a financial advisor, or like somebody who says, okay, look, I'm in my 50s. I really want to think about my retirement. Where do I put my money? Like, what would you say to people? Should I just wing it? Should I, like it's not the lottery. This is the other thing too. Your finances
Yeah.
shouldn't be like the lottery.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, maybe I'll try this.
Yeah.
Unless you have
Exactly.
a lot of disposable income, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
But I've never met anybody who treats their finances like that.
No, absolutely not. And the thing is, this is it. Sometimes people don't like to hire advisors because they think that they're going to be restricted or they're going to tell you not to do something. And that is not the case. The first thing, you have to look at personality. Even though this is, who cares if they are getting the result, but it does matter, because when you like somebody, when you feel comfortable with somebody, you treat them as a friend. And with a friend, you talk and says, what should I do? And that's how the relationship with an advisor should be, right? You don't have to be like very stiff and, oh, this is what you do, right? Like this is a relationship. And the thing is, it's a long-term relationship. So therefore, you need to make sure that you like the person, that you trust them, that you think they're capable of helping you, and that they are concerned about what you want. Because basically, as advisors, we have many ways to do things, right? It's just like hiring somebody like a chef, right? If they're not giving you the right food,
Right.
how are you going to be happy?
Or
And the important thing is, exactly, or you're here.
You like
Exactly.
the person that cut your hair, they do a good job, you're going to go back.
Exactly.
So we want to keep your business. Same thing with real estate, same thing with finances.
Yep.
I want my clients to refer me. I want my clients to come back to me if they have even if they have any questions, even if they're not interested. Like, that's the relationship that you're building with that individual.
Exactly.
So financial
So,
advisor.
if you are deciding about hiring an advisor, make sure that you like them, that you trust them, that they're going to be there for you to answer your question, because it's not about what I want, right? It's
Right.
about what exactly is that you need, because many people are concerned about maybe paying their debt, maybe if they have enough for retirement, maybe how they're going to save for the kids' education, maybe just to build some kind of an emergency fund. So everybody has different priorities, and because they're at different ages and different times, and also what kind of transitions they're going through, it is so specific. So you have to make sure that whoever you hire is going to concentrate on what is important to you.
Right.
And we always give you a whole picture, because it's holistic, right? Like, it's not only one thing that it's to be aware of, but the important thing is to take care of the item that is important to you, and then move forward with the plan.
Okay,
that's how I would do.
I had to write this down so everybody will see it.
Okay.
This is so important.
Yes.
Goals. So if you want to hire, so the answer, if you are on the fence about hiring a financial advisor, you got to set yourself goals. Nobody's going to do it for you. If your goal is to be financially independent by a certain time, if your goal is to pay for your kids' school, or to buy an income property, these are things that you need. I can't even imagine doing it without a financial advisor. You need to set yourself goals and say, is this possible? How can I get there? I'm here now. I want to get over here. How do I do it? And hiring it, like anything, I need to fix my car. How do I do it? You call you call an expert.
Yeah, exactly. So that is, the power of having that. And that's what it's important. I always go, and, when people, I have interviews about people trying to hire me, and I'm just saying to them, I says, listen, you do have to understand how I work, but at the same time, you need to see if you believe that I'm going to be able to help you.
Right.
And that is important.
I'm the biggest thing for me is, if somebody thinks that they can't achieve something, they cannot achieve it, they won't.
They won't. That's correct.
If you have a goal to say, I think this is actually possible, I've got to get out of my own way and figure out, how do I get there?
Yep.
We can help.
And, in some cases, if somebody tells me this is what I want, and I said, okay, so this is what it takes. Are you able to increase your income? Are you able to save more? All of these questions have to be answered, because remember, there's always a price to pay.
there's always a way too.
Of course, there's always a way. If you want it, for sure there is a way.
So let me give you a little example, because it just popped into my head and I said, oh my God, I have to say this out loud. So a lot of investors, real estate investors, young people, they are excited to buy a property just to get in the market. They just want to jump in.
Yeah.
So desperate to get in. So let's just say I have a house, which I do.
Mhm.
You can buy, like, this is the thing too, to know where to buy, how long it's going to take you. This is something that both Araceli and I can help you with real estate, obviously. But when it comes to saying, okay, how do I do this? How do I slice this thing? Because there's 20 different ways to do it.
Mhm.
But what will work for you, and what is your tolerance of really getting to that end goal, right? So let's just say I have a house. I have, 5-year, I have a 5-year mortgage. Sorry, it's 25-year mortgage. But let's say I have to renew it in 5 years. If I want to pay that down in the next 5 years, what am I going to do? Am I going to live in the top part of the house, or am I going to rent it out and then make more money at the top of the house? And I'm going to not suffer, but I'm going to make myself live in the basement.
Yeah, it's about your
5
lifestyle.
years, 3 years, 2 years, whatever it is, I will be making double the amount, if not more,
Yeah,
having my upstairs rented than my downstairs.
absolutely.
That's totally cool, because now I can travel. Now I don't have to, work as much, or have to, in my case, advertise and spend a lot of money
Yeah.
running after, potential clients and door knocking and all
Yeah.
this crazy stuff.
And
So
that is exactly it.
lifestyle too.
So, Colette, one of the things that I help my clients figure out is the lifestyle cost.
Thank
That
you.
is something that a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to, but that's basically the basis of everything.
Yes.
Because if your lifestyle cost is very high and your income is high, but you're spending every single penny of it, then there's priorities are not set correctly.
Yes. Where
So where can you cut corners a little bit? How are you willing to sacrifice? And in some cases, it's not possible, because I do have clients that they spend a lot of money on medication because they need it. So, you cannot cut all of that, because it is a lot of money going out, but
Right.
there's no way to cut it, right?
Right.
So where else can you sacrifice? If you do have a house, like you said, and you're able to rent half of it,
Right.
because, obviously you have to look at your lifestyle. If you have 10 kids, it might not work, right? But if your kids are older, right?
Send them off to someone.
Well, what if they're little? Oh my God, right?
No, we're joking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously that's something that there's always a way that you might not even realize that, oh, I didn't even think about that. What can I do? Like the other thing too is especially with real estate. So I've had some people ask me too, listen, how much can I get to rent my house?
Yeah.
I go, why? They said, well, because, my kids are they're our age, and they're like, okay, kids are out of the house. I have this big house, but I want to travel now that COVID's over. Well, let's say COVID's over. I want to start traveling again, but I need somebody to fund it for me. How am I going to fund my travel?
Yeah.
So if you really need to have a place where you want to come back to, if you're traveling and you can't afford to pay your bills on your property and then, travel. So this would be a perfect scenario for somebody like me, where I could either rent my whole house and rent a small apartment for less than what my mortgage payment is on my house. I get the income from the rental, and then I can go off and have just a place to land when I'm coming and going. So if this is my magical dream of, this is my goal.
That's right. And then you're finding ways to make it happen. That's what is important. I think that if people have goals, when they come to me, it's a lot easier to work with.
Right.
And everybody does have goals, but sometimes they haven't really write them down, or they haven't said them aloud. And sometimes when I talk to them and I start asking them questions, then they start, oh, okay, this is important to me. This is not important to me. And then we can extract it. But it's a lot easier when you have already a goal that you already know, this is how I want to live. Can I make it happen?
100%. I agree with you. And you know what's funny? Just like as you're talking, like this is the thing why we do the show too, that we get ideas from each other.
Yeah.
And one thing that I really have to say, I love everybody who does a vision board, but a vision board won't do anything if you don't have something to back it up, like a financial plan. Like, you know, to really know what, if it's something that financially what you
Yeah,
want
and
to do.
it's not only a financial plan, but also you may have to invest in learning something that you didn't
Yes.
know before, right?
Yes. I want to be an
So,
astronaut. I can't like put it on my vision board and become an astronaut.
yeah, probably not gonna happen.
Well, maybe if I meet Elon Musk or
Hey, it is all possible. But you know what I mean? Like this is kind of a joke, but you have to also decide, like if you're making $30,000, but you want to retire with 10 trips a year, it may not be that unless you decide to maybe upgrade your skills and maybe start making more money,
get
right?
into the
So
job.
all of that you have to decide, and it has to be within the realm. Of course, if you do win the lottery, by all means, that would be possible, but it might not be plan A, right? So
Not,
you
yeah,
may want to go plan B, C, and D
yeah.
to make that happen. So
What's the likelihood of winning the lottery? One in like,
it's a 1 in 7 million. So it's possible, yeah, because people have won the lottery, but do you want to get
you want to be
a
smart.
plan
You
B
want to
just
treat
in case?
right. You want to treat your finances that you actually think you're never going to win the lottery. So
That's right. And if you do, fantastic. You're
call
way ahead of the
Araceli
game.
anyway. She'll help you do something with the money.
Yeah.
But I know we're going over time, so I just want to
Yeah.
say thank you again. This has been great. And I actually think that maybe in December, January, we should do vision boarding in a way that finance. Because what's your famous line? Finances
Finances touches everything.
is everything. So you need to get your finances in order before you even set a goal, or you know, together to say this is
Yeah.
what I want to
It
do,
is super
and,
important.
and is it attainable? Yeah. So by all
And
means,
if you haven't, just think about it this way. Sometimes when we set things aside, and I do have a client like that I actually talked to her for 2 years before she became a client. And she really confessed to me that it says, you know what, I really want to put it aside because I really want to look at it. I was kind of like put my head in the sand, don't look at it. But the thing is, it's just like dust. It keeps accumulating. It doesn't go away. So
right.
just take charge of it. If you're not good at the details or the finances or where to start, hire someone that you like, that you trust, and they will guide you, right? We're
Thank
not there
you.
to judge you. We're not there to do anything, but just to give you direction. Start
Right.
here, there, and there, and there. And now she says, oh my God, I should have done this a long time ago. So
I
that's
agree.
what I say. It's the power. You free up energy to actually look for other goals that you really want to pursue.
I love that. I love that. Don't stick your head in the sand. I mean, I know it's very hard, especially for women. I hate to be sexist about it, but especially for women who are afraid of what it looks like. You gotta, it's not even about, oh my gosh, I'm spending too much. Araceli is not here to like, to pick on you or to make you feel bad, but to help you realize, okay, look, like you have a goal. Let's hit that goal.
Yeah.
And let's
How can we make it happen?
Possible. Yeah. Yeah. I meet a lot of women like that where they're just like, I don't know. I don't know. I say, how do you not know?
Yeah.
This is something you want to do. You have to figure out your finances no matter what. If it's a small goal, big goal, you got to know. You have to know. Anyway, thank you.
So that's great. Well, thank you, Colette, for answering the questions. Remember, if you do have goals, tell us about it. If you have questions about something that we didn't touch on today and you want to know more, send us the questions. We're happy to answer the best way possible that we know. So
yes,
have a
please.
fantastic day, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Colette.
Thanks, Araceli. Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.